Welcome back to the Available Post podcast, a podcast where I speak into the abyss, right to the void. Maybe someone will listen back, who knows? I'm your host, Callum, and this is coming out a little earlier than normal because I felt like there was something I wanted to talk about, something really important, and that's house cleaning. Let me tell you, someone asked me on my last video, what's the important thing to consider when writing a plot for a video game? And that is kind of close to the topic I wanted to talk about today, so I'm just not going to answer that question. But what I am going to do is say hello to all these new subscribers that I've been getting on this channel. Very cool. I get really fun comments, like from a lovely letter B. I got LMAO. You actually don't know what a boombox is. And you know what? I don't know what that's in context to. I grew up around boomboxes. I know what a boombox is. Maybe they mean boom mic. Maybe they mean pop filter. I know what those are as well. I choose not to use them. I choose to talk through this. But you know what? YouTube commenter, you're good. Someone also said my video had clickbait on it, and wow. Rude. Just because I use Diablo 4 in the title of something doesn't mean I'm clickbaiting it. Just means I think that the game was probably better than a game I've never played called Diablo 4. That's all good. But about the plot thing, you know? What are we even talking about today? Well, you know from the title of this video, which is not clickbait. Don't worry. Don't worry, I'll get to that topic. But yeah, writing a plot for a game, honestly, you don't need to be super hand-holdy. But you can't be as abstract as something like Dark Souls, because that's been done, and unless your gameplay is super interesting and intriguing and everything is like as perfect and gets a cult following, no one's gonna actually care that much, right? If you don't have the back of someone like Thatchavidia backing you up, talking to you about all the Dark Souls lore, the plot of your game's not gonna make too much sense. But I mean, even then, the plot of Dark Souls is, hey, you're an old dead dude. You can't die. Waste a life. Go kill these big kings. Restart the world. Save something. That's what you're doing. I mean, that's really the plot. But if you're writing plot and you want it to be like story-driven, make the characters in the game tell the story through the characters' emotions, through their character development, stuff like that. I think that's just a better way to do it. You can kind of get context clues about the world through characters, not by massive lore dumps, things like that, huge, like, monologues. I mean, sometimes those are okay if, like, it's really abstract and you want to keep a mystery to it, but when you're writing something, I don't know, write good characters that build the world, and then make the world reflect the way that those characters are that you want them to be. I think building on characters first is the way to go, or having a full overarching world theme that the characters are reacting to is the best way to write a thing. So that's my answer for that. Sip of my coffee before my head explodes from trying to talk about things I have really no skills in. But now I'm going to talk about something that has really got me, and it's getting the entire internet. They're all getting their, well, not the entire internet, I mean, at least gaming community, specifically the horror genre, a genre that I dip my toes into. Silent Hill 2 is being remade by the Bloomberg team. And, which is fine. I mean, whatever. Silent Hill 2 getting a remake is really cool. The Bloomberg team, I guess their exec came out and said, hey, listen, Layers of Fear, the last time we're doing psychological horror, we're going, quote, mainstream horror for all of our other titles, starting with Resident Evil 2 Remake. What does mainstream horror mean? I have no idea. Is it going to be like the Resident Evil 4 Remake? I don't think that's going to work for, Silent Hill. Because, like, Silent Hill has goofy bits, but they're unintentional goofy bits. Whereas, like, Resident Evil is all the Resident Evils are kind of, like, founded on the very goofy idea of, like, Umbrella doing wacky stuff. People turning into huge monsters, but like in the most dramatic way possible, and like minecart chases, castle exploration. There's a lot of silly stuff to go around in like a Resident Evil game. There's not that much silly things going around in Silent Hill 2. And the action in Silent Hill 2 is mostly just like there's weird things around. Bash them with a stick or run away from them. Like the survival horror aspect creates a psychological aspect, but I don't know if survival horror is necessarily a mainstream way to go about it, if that makes sense. Like it's very strange direction. Having like turning Silent Hill 2 into a first person shooter doesn't make that much sense to me, considering people have been trying to argue what Silent Hill 2 really is, and I can break it down very simply, okay? First thing first, Silent Hill 2 is a game about a dude getting a letter from his dead wife to go to a place to find his dead wife, who's dead. And he knows she's dead, but he still wants to find her. Why? I don't know. Who cares? He's going a little bit loopy. Goes to a place, finds a woman. She's weird in the graveyard. Finds, a little girl. She's weird. She's kind of a dick, actually. She kind of, locks you away. Does dumb things. She's a little brat. Meets a weird guy. He sits down. He eats pizza. You ask him how he could eat pizza. He's like, I'm hungry. I don't know. Whatever. I don't care that there's monsters. That's what the game's about. The game's about sitting down, eating pizza while there's monsters, checking doors, knowing they're locked and that they'll never open again. Okay? And, I don't know, looking for your dead wife. That's pretty much what the game is. And people are really overblowing it. Oh, sorry. It's also finding wheelchairs in places they shouldn't be, even though they should definitely be there. You question it. You question why could there ever be a wheelchair there. Yeah. And, strange dialogue, which is hilarious, by the way. If they mainstream that, I don't know if I even like that. Give new voice actors a chance, I think, on this one. Not like, don't AI it. That's criminal. It's criminal. But, not yet, but it should be. But, up and inspiring voice actors who think they can do a voice acting job, I don't know. Throw them a bone. Give them a try. Test them out. Then they can have that on their credits. Maybe that'll help them out. Or it'll really harm their entire career, depending on how they do. It's a good little gauntlet for new talent. But that's what Silent Hill's about. People are trying to tell me it's about, not tell me, tell everybody that it's there's a lot of themes and stuff in Silent Hill that, lots of passion. There's lots of emotional baggage that comes along with it. And sure, you can interpret it that way. But at the end of the day, it's a game where you wander around, smash the X button, wondering if things are interactable, and then most of the doors just say, sorry, you can't open that door. It's locked. This door doesn't budge. This door can't do anything. This door isn't even really a door. And that's Silent Hill for you. Like the first game would they don't want to make that game because that would actually be a better game for them to remake technically, but they want the IP of Pyramid Head. That's it. They want Pyramid Head in the game. That's why they're remaking 2. But the first game, I think if you were going to make a legit redone survival horror mainstream quote unquote game, yeah, I think the first one would definitely be the one to do, because then you just wind up in a town, daughter goes missing, it's all foggy, you don't know what's going on, there's monsters everywhere, and you're just trying to find your daughter. That seems like, it's just taken the game but in a foggy town with monsters. And that could turn into an actual, horror game that would be good in the method that they think they're going to do. So that's my little opinion about that. I think they should definitely go in, and they should have done, if their whole plan was to make horror games mainstream horror games, whatever that means. I'm trying to think of what a mainstream horror game actually is. I guess Resident Evil 4 would be the one. That would be the mainstream horror game, right? Which is, action-y, lots of not really para mechanics, but you gotta shoot. It's not as survival horror as Silent Hill was. The ammo's there. Yeah. Silent Hill 1, I think, would have been the better choice if this was the direction they wanted to go. Or like, I think they could have done a cool thing with one of the games after 4 that I never played that seemed more actiony anyways, which was a huge failure on the games. That's why people didn't really like them. There was more combat. It was weird like that. But yeah, the decision to turn a story-driven game, because I mean, really, Silent Hill 2 is a puzzle game, is a puzzle story game with horror elements, and that's the survival horror, right? Like, people responded to Signalis really well, which was just a Resident Evil, Silent Hill kind of game on a spaceship that pixel art was more like, you make your guns, you shoot the things, you figure out the puzzles. That was Silent Hill. That's basically just exactly like Silent Hill with a new twist on it, a little bit different mechanics. It felt awesome. It was a great game. I 100% recommend Signalis. If anything comes out of this, you should just go play Signalis. But there's it's weird to have a team go out and say, we want to completely change this cult classic into something it's... Well, I don't know if it's something it's not. I have hopes that they are going to do a good job. It's just when they use weird, vague terminology, which is almost Silent Hill-esque itself, using weird, vague terminology to describe what you're doing. So they're like, yeah, you know what? It's going to be a mainstream game. But I just don't really know. Like, are we going to get Call of Duty, Resident Evil 2? Are we going to get... not Resident Evil 2, sorry. Silent Hill 2. I was thinking Resident Evil. Are we getting a Call of Duty version? Are we going to get, like, the Candy Crush of it? Is it just going to be a gacha game? Do we have to unlock our characters? Do we have to maybe wish on the weapons banner to hopefully get the, get the big sword so we can actually beat the game? Is that what we're going to be? Is it going to be a microtransactions game? Will there be a Battle Royale horror version? Is it going to be like, what is it? Dead by Daylight, but Resident Evil, or Silent Hill 2. A foggier Dead by Daylight. What do they mean? What do you mean, Bloomer Team? I don't understand. It's a game about unlocking doors, solving weird little funny puzzles that are just basically nursery rhymes and fairy tales rebranded. It's also a game about people pronouncing ampule, or ampule, whichever one you go on. That's what the game's about, It's about radio static. Maybe that's not mainstream enough. Maybe he's gonna have an iPhone, and it's just gonna, I don't know. Siri's gonna tell him, "Hey, there's monsters by." My best Siri voice I got. So I have feelings about the Silent Hill 2 remake. Am I gonna buy it? Yeah, probably. Am I gonna play it on stream? Maybe. I might stream it. Might be a fun little project to stream when it comes out. I'm more excited about the Silent Hill game based on the early 90s. Was it 90s? I think so. It was like, or maybe it's 1900s. Whatever. The other Silent Hill game, not the crowd one, not the streaming service one. That one seems very strange. There's 3 Silent Hill games coming out, and it's very confusing. The one that's all about like the Bandersnatch Netflix thing, but Silent Hill. I don't think that one's for me, really. It's a neat idea. I like the innovation. Game design like that is really cool. And you gotta try it out. You gotta put it out there. You gotta try it out. See if it works. See how it does. And I'm into that. But what I'm not into is that it's a streaming service game and other people affect my playthrough, which I'm not. I don't know. On a single, I guess it's technically a multiplayer game, but it's one thing I've learned from. I used to play a game called Heroes of the Storm, and it's a trash game. It's not very good. I don't know if it still even exists anymore. I don't touch Blizzard products anymore with a 10-foot pole. I hate them. I don't like them as Activision. I think their merger with Microsoft is completely bizarre and stupid. Has nothing to do with actual Blizzard games, because no one really cares about the Blizzard games. Like, Blizzard do their thing, and all the Blizzard fan people They're going to come after me after this video as well, I'm sure. But I'm not going to put Blizzard in the title, so they won't ever know. They won't ever listen. So, thanks for that, Blizzard fans. Maybe I'll call this episode just the Diablo 4 episode. Yeah, come at me, Diablo 4 fans, whatever. I don't care. I don't like Blizzard as a company. I don't like Activision. I think Microsoft taking over both of those companies is completely crazy. And if you want your AAA games to have mechanics that Candy Crush has, because that's what you're going to get. You're going to get Call of Duty Candy Crush crossovers, which, is Activision anyways, but I'm saying you're going to get awful models that are predatory for your wallets, and probably just bad gameplay like Blizzard kind of makes, and just gets rid of quality of health stuff, and then really wants to bank on stuff like Diablo Immortal to take your money. Unless you guys don't have phones. Don't you guys have phones? Whatever. Whew, that's enough about that. The stupid acquisition. Oh my god. I hate the acquisition. I hate that acquisition. I hate Blizzard. But I used to play Heroes of the Storm. That's what I'm saying. And it had a cool. It was a MOBA. At one point I was a MOBA male. That's the way it goes. But nowadays I'm MOBA no longer. Maybe I'll play some Smite in the future. They had some cool Magic card. They brought the Magic card people to the Smite universe, and I thought that was kind of cool. And I have the Battle Pass was just a full $20 at one point, so I have all the characters that ever get printed ever. Which is, honestly, that's the coolest design. If you're going to make a MOBA, that was easily the best MOBA design that was consumer friendly I think I've ever seen. So I have all that Smite stuff, and then you can just do cosmetics and things. So that's how it should be. But I played Heroes of the Storm. I was completely free to play. I had all the characters. Played it a lot with my brothers. That was fun. But then it got pretty bad. They got rid of HGC. Was it HGC? I don't know. It was a weekend actual competitive play, which was fun to watch. They got rid of it. Was it HGC? I don't remember. Whatever it was. They got rid of that, and then they stopped basically caring about the game because they're like, well, we're not really competing with League of Legends because we put no effort and time into this game and no balancing. We don't actually care about it, so yeah, we're just gonna let it go. And I think the last character that came out was Hogger, and that was probably 2 years ago, and that's around when I stopped playing. I think I stopped playing a bit while ago for that. When yeah, they kept on. There's lots of lawsuits with Blizzard that did a bunch of bad stuff, so I decided, maybe I'm not gonna play their games or do anything about that anymore. And they just kept the same CEO, and they just kept Activision. They all just said we'll pay our little fine, but we don't actually care about our employees. So, if you're gonna be that openly villainous and then also treat the gamers like crap, you're gonna treat your staff like crap. The whole thing's a mess. I don't care. If you work for Blizzard and you're proud of it, hey, you do your thing. I don't care. That's not for me. I'm just not going to play in the Blizzard games anymore. It's not good. So, but Heroes of the Storm, the whole idea, well, I was getting to this. I just get so sidetracked because I got so mad at Blizzard for existing. And now it's even worse because Microsoft is now technically Blizzard as well. I know that Microsoft bought Blizzard, but Microsoft now has a piece of them that's Blizzard, and that sucks. It makes me want to get a Mac. It makes me want to get a Mac. It's the way it is. But what happens is that it's a team-based game. So your whole team levels up together, right? So what that means is that, it keeps teamwork. So one person on the team can kind of help out better. So if you have one bad person on the team, in theory, you can still kind of win. You can still kind of break through. You can still kind of do it. But really what it means is you have one person feeding on your team, and the other team gets 3 levels above you. So you can't just pick out their weakest character and start beating it down, because it doesn't matter, because their healer can 1v1 you because they have 3 levels on you regardless. No matter who there is on their team, they don't even have to be getting XP. They have 3 levels. The whole team has 3 levels on you. So you kind of just win or fail by the backs of how bad, not how good your team is, but how bad some of the people on your team is how you're going to lose or win. Yeah, you got one real stinker on the team, or someone just intentionally feeding, which was another great part about it. There was also no all chat, so the only toxicity you got was from your teammates, so it just caused more infighting. You couldn't tell the other team they sucked, but you could definitely tell your own teammate that they suck. And that they should uninstall, they should, go back to Bronze League. Why are they losing this for us? It just became very toxic very fast. It was basically the most toxic model you could possibly think. Like, at least when your enemies are saying it, it's like, whatever. Yeah, they beat me. They got me. They're dicks. They're saying mean stuff. I get it. Okay? It still sucks and shouldn't happen, but, like, it sucks. But, like, when your own teammate is like, hey, man, why are you so bad? Could you go on the other team, please, next time? Is like, well, goddamn, what am I supposed to say to that? The answer is nothing. You're just supposed to sit there and accept it, because if you start getting riled up, you're just going to start intentionally feeding. You're going to start dying on purpose. You're going to just waste another 30 minutes of your life. And that's what Here's What the Storm does, right? So when I hear of a streaming experience that's catered towards a large audience of people that has, like, effects in your game, I just think, oh, there's just going to be griefers. There's going to be, like, if there's an opportunity for people to grief, people are going to grief. Is the way it goes. It's just, that's maybe my cynical take on a Silent Hill stream-based service game, but I foresee griefing. And that, well, I'll sit back. I'll sit back and say, that's okay. That's for you then. That's why I don't play too many team games unless it's with my brothers nowadays. Or, maybe some, like, co-op games with the wife. That's pretty much what I would like to do. But these big multiplayer games and, like, especially MMOs, there's nothing like getting a whole raid party together and then having, I might be dating myself, but a Leroy Jenkins come out and, some guy said I didn't know what a boombox was. I'm still confused. I have no idea what context that was. He must be talking about boom mic. But that also doesn't make sense. A boombox. I know what a boombox is. It's like a tape player, but it's big. Pumping it out. Either way, doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Team-based games where you can lose to your team because they grief you is not a pleasant experience. And so no Silent Hill streaming game for me. But the other Silent Hill game, I don't even know what it's called. I'm going to look it up right now. So I'm not just rambling. Well, I am just rambling. I mean, that's kind of what I'm doing. But Silent... Ooh, I gotta learn how to spell. Maybe I gotta go back to school. Who knows? Silent... Welcome back to the Google podcast. Let's do Silent Hill. What are the new games? No, another film. The first film was pretty good, actually. I kind of liked the first film of Silent Hill, based on the first game. That was really cool. Silent Hill 2 3D was a tragedy. Was it called Ascension? Oh no, that's the Ascension's the one. Actions of million will determine the outcome of Silent Hill Ascension. Griefers be warned. No. There's not for me. Alright. There's a bunch of people asking if Silent Hill 2 Remake is already in trouble. It certainly is. Yeah. Yeah, people are concerned about what they're saying. And I agree. I'm a little concerned about it, or else I wouldn't have made this whole podcast this early. Usually I only come out with these once a month, but this, you get a double month. You get a double month this time. Was it release date possibly leaked? Oh, I'm not gonna do leaks. I'm not here to do leaks. That's fine. These are all silly stuff. I want Silent Hill. I want the new game. New game. I know there's a third one. Okay, new games. What do we got? We got the cheer squad upstairs barking nice and loud. That's very good. Maybe I just dreamed it. Maybe I just thought there was a third Silent Hill game. Three vastly different... Yeah, here we go. Yeah, there's the one with, like, the fish lady. She got the fish flowers. She looks like she's all flowery. That's really cool. What is that one called? Townfall Tears. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one I'm actually excited for. 100%. That's what we wanna. That one looks intriguing and cool, and something I would definitely play. Silent Hill 2 remake again. I don't know. They should have, if they were gonna go for the Silent Hill, turn it into the movie Wanted. Silent Hill 1 literally is about a guy who loses his daughter in a stupid town. It would have been a perfect chance, but it doesn't have Pyramid Head in game 1, so I guess we need the IP, or else people don't understand or like it. So, like, I can't wait for the... Maybe it'll be like a quick time event. Oh, they're going to bring back... It's going to be Resident Evil 6. But, Resident Evil 6, definitely. Or maybe 5. I mean, 5 would be better if, you could do a better version of Army of 2. But... Which, Resident Evil 5 is just a better version of Army of 2. Although, to be fair, you could say, come on, and... Chris! But there's no high five mechanic like Army of 2 had, so you couldn't, when you're trying to escape a boat, high five your friend to catch them in the animation, so you couldn't escape the boat so it explodes. Which was, fun, obviously. But it's, yeah. I don't know. Those are my thoughts on things. This is kind of a shorter episode, but you know what to do. Right now I have 69 subscribers, nice, on my YouTube channel, and I don't know. You can either choose to keep it there or choose to make it do something else. That's up to you. I'm leaving. This is my Silent Hill. Thousands of players, millions of players will decide how my channel grows or falls by subscribing to it. No griefers, please. No griefers. Don't grief. Anyways, I've been Podcast, and this has been Time. So you have yourselves a great day. I'll catch you in the next one. There'll probably be another podcast coming out the 1st of August. I'll talk about something other than Silent Hill 2, but this is my little thoughts on Silent Hill 2. Maybe I'll just make podcasts when I have thoughts about things. There'll be a podcast every single day. Check out my daily uploads. Today, right now, time-stamped, the past 2 episodes, things that just came out, they were both Sludge Life. What the fuck was that? I don't know. It was a Life of Sludge. I have no idea what that was, but they're out. They're in the world. They've been put here for me and you. Catch you in the next one. Bye for now.